One of the most powerful principles of manifestation, which has the power to completely transform our lives forever, is the principle of trust and self-love. This great transformation doesn't involve complicated rituals or hard techniques that require action. This principle is related to who you need to become on the inside. For example, if your desire is to manifest your dream life, the truth is that you need to trust the universe and love yourself first before this shows up in your reality. Otherwise, you'll keep forcing and struggling, thinking something is wrong with you. Most people approach manifestation like they're trying to force a door open that's already unlocked. They push and strain and exhaust themselves, not realizing that all they need to do is turn the handle gently. The handle in this case is trust and self-love. But here's what happens instead. People read about manifestation. They get excited. They make vision boards. They repeat affirmations. And then they sit back, waiting for magic to happen. When nothing changes after a week or a month, they decide manifestation doesn't work. But the real problem isn't that manifestation doesn't work. The problem is that deep down, they don't really trust that the universe wants good things for them. And even deeper than that, they don't believe they deserve those good things. So while their mouth is saying, "I want abundance," their heart is whispering, "But I'm not worthy of it." While they're visualizing their dream relationship, their inner voice is saying, "But I'm not lovable enough." The universe hears both messages, but it responds to the louder one. And unfortunately, our fears and doubts are usually much louder than our hopes and dreams. Think about this for a moment. If you had a friend who constantly doubted you, who questioned every decision you made, who never trusted your judgment, would you go out of your way to help them? Probably not. You'd get tired of their negativity and their lack of faith in you. Well, that's exactly how most of us treat the universe. We ask for something, then immediately start worrying about whether it will happen. We doubt the timing, we question the methods, we panic when we don't see instant results. The universe is like the most loving, generous friend you could ever have. It wants to shower you with gifts, opportunities, love, and abundance. But when you don't trust this friend, when you keep checking up on it and doubting its abilities, you create resistance. It's like trying to receive a gift with your hands clenched in fists. The gift is there, but you can't receive it because you're not open to it. And then there's the self-love issue that goes even deeper. You might think you love yourself, but pay attention to how you talk to yourself throughout the day. When you make a mistake, do you say, "It's okay, everyone makes mistakes"? Or do you say, "I'm so stupid, I always mess things up"? When you look in the mirror, do you appreciate what you see, or do you immediately focus on what you don't like? When good things happen to you, do you feel like you deserve them, or do you worry they won't last? Most of us have been programmed since childhood to believe that we need to earn love, that we need to be perfect to be worthy, that we should feel guilty for wanting good things. We've been taught that it's selfish to put ourselves first, that we should struggle and sacrifice to be valuable. These beliefs run so deep that we don't even notice them anymore. They're like background music that's always playing, influencing our mood and our choices without us realizing it. But here's the truth that might shock you. The universe doesn't care about your past mistakes, your current flaws, or your perceived limitations. The universe sees you as perfect exactly as you are right now. It sees your potential, your light, your worthiness. The only one who doesn't see it is you. So the first learning in this principle is, if you don't trust and love yourself internally, nothing external will manifest. This is the heart of true manifestation. If you master this principle, everything you want will flow to you easily. However, this requires you to let go of control and face your self-doubt. If you're really ready for this kind of change, this video is for you. When you don't trust the universe, you become a control freak. You try to micromanage every detail of your life. You make lists and plans and backup plans for your backup plans. You research every possible outcome and try to protect yourself from every possible disappointment. You live in a constant state of worry and anxiety because you feel like everything depends on you. This exhausting way of living doesn't just make you tired, it actually blocks your manifestations. Think of it this way: when you're trying to control everything, you're telling the universe, "I don't trust you to handle this, so I'll do it myself." But you're just one person with limited knowledge and limited resources. The universe has infinite wisdom and infinite resources. It can see opportunities you can't see. It can open doors you don't even know exist. It can bring you solutions you never would have thought of. But when you insist on doing everything yourself, you cut yourself off from this infinite help. You limit yourself to only what you can imagine, only what you can make happen with your own effort. It's like having access to a supercomputer, but choosing to do all your calculations with a broken calculator instead. And when you don't love yourself, you sabotage everything good that tries to come into your life. Maybe you get a great job opportunity, but you convince yourself you're not qualified enough and you don't apply. Maybe someone wonderful wants to date you, but you push them away because you think they'll leave once they get to know the real you. Maybe money comes to you, but you immediately spend it on other people or waste it because you don't feel worthy of having it. Self-sabotage is just a symptom of not loving yourself enough to receive good things. It's your inner critic protecting you from disappointment by making sure you never get your hopes up too high. But in trying to protect you from pain, it also protects you from joy. It keeps you in a small, safe, comfortable prison where nothing really bad happens, but nothing really good happens either. When you don't trust the universe and don't love yourself, it affects every area of your life. Your relationships suffer because you attract people who mirror your own lack of self-love. You might end up with friends who criticize you, partners who don't appreciate you, or family members who make you feel guilty for having dreams and goals. Your career suffers because you don't believe you deserve success, so you settle for jobs that pay less than your worth or that don't fulfill you. You don't speak up in meetings. You don't ask for raises or promotions. You don't pursue your real passions because you've convinced yourself they're not realistic. Your health suffers because you don't prioritize yourself. You eat poorly because you don't think you deserve to feel good. You don't exercise because you've given up on your body. You don't rest because you think you have to earn relaxation through constant productivity. Your finances suffer because you have a complicated relationship with money. You either hoard it out of fear or spend it carelessly out of guilt. You don't charge what you're worth for your services. You don't invest in yourself because you don't see yourself as a good investment. But perhaps the biggest cost of not trusting the universe and not loving yourself is time. Every day you spend in doubt and self-criticism is a day you're not living your full potential. Every month you spend trying to force things to happen is a month you could have been flowing with ease. Every year you spend believing you're not worthy is a year of joy and abundance you'll never get back. The sad truth is that most people spend their entire lives waiting to be worthy enough, good enough, ready enough to receive what they really want. They think they need to lose weight first, make more money first, fix their flaws first, prove themselves first. But worthiness isn't something you earn, it's something you are. It's your birthright. You were born worthy of love, success, happiness, and all the good things life has to offer. The universe isn't waiting for you to become perfect. It's waiting for you to realize that you already are perfect, just as you are right now. Every moment you spend believing otherwise is a moment you're choosing suffering over joy, struggle over ease, limitation over abundance. The universe is like a loving friend that always wants to give you what's best for you. But here's the thing. If you don't trust this friend and you don't love yourself enough to receive good things, you block the gifts. Your relationship with the universe and with yourself creates everything you see in your life. Most people today are so busy trying to control everything and fix themselves that they've lost the simple truth. The universe is always supporting you, and you are already worthy of love. Let's start by understanding what the universe really is. The universe isn't some distant, uncaring force that randomly distributes good and bad luck. It's not a stern parent that you have to please or a harsh judge that you have to impress. The universe is pure love, pure intelligence, pure abundance. It's the same energy that grows flowers from tiny seeds, that heals cuts on your skin without you having to think about it, that beats your heart and breathes your lungs without you having to remember. This same loving intelligence that orchestrates the movement of planets and the changing of seasons is the same intelligence that wants to orchestrate the fulfillment of your deepest desires. It knows exactly what you need, when you need it, and how to bring it to you in the most perfect way possible. But it can only work through you when you're in alignment with its loving nature. When you trust the universe, you're not being naive or passive. You're acknowledging that there's a wisdom at work that's far greater than your limited human perspective. You're admitting that you don't have to figure everything out by yourself, that you don't have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders, that you don't have to force and struggle to make things happen. Trust has a completely different energy than control. When you trust, you're relaxed, open, and receptive. You take inspired action when it feels right, but you don't frantically chase after every opportunity. You plant seeds and then allow them to grow in their own time. You stay alert to signs and synchronicities that guide you toward your goals. Control, on the other hand, has the energy of fear. When you try to control everything, you're tense, anxious, and closed off to possibilities you haven't thought of. You push and force and exhaust yourself trying to make things happen on your timeline. You miss opportunities because you're so focused on your one narrow plan that you can't see the other doors opening around you. The universe responds to energy, not just to words or thoughts. So when you approach manifestation with the energy of control, with desperation, fear, and lack, that's the energy you get back. You attract situations that make you feel more desperate, more fearful, more lacking. But when you approach manifestation with the energy of trust, with peace, gratitude, and knowing, that's the energy that gets reflected back to you. Now, let's talk about why self-love is so crucial to this process. Self-love isn't about thinking you're better than everyone else or being arrogant. It's about recognizing your inherent worthiness as a human being. It's about treating yourself with the same kindness and compassion you would show a beloved friend. When you truly love yourself, you naturally make choices that are good for you. You eat foods that nourish your body. You spend time with people who lift you up. You pursue work that fulfills you. You speak to yourself with kindness. You don't settle for less than you deserve because you know you deserve good things. But more than that, when you love yourself, you send a clear message to the universe about how you expect to be treated. The universe takes its cues from you. If you treat yourself badly, you're essentially telling the universe, "This is how I want to be treated," and it will send you more of the same. People will treat you poorly, opportunities will be scarce, life will feel like a struggle. But when you treat yourself with love and respect, you're telling the universe, "I am valuable, I am worthy, I deserve good things." And the universe responds by bringing you experiences that match that energy. People treat you better. Opportunities flow more easily. Life becomes more joyful and abundant. Everything in your external world is a mirror of your internal world. If you look around your life right now, you can see a direct reflection of your relationship with yourself and your relationship with the universe. Are you surrounded by people who support and encourage you, or people who criticize and drain you? Do opportunities come easily to you, or do you have to fight for everything? Do you feel generally happy and peaceful, or stressed and anxious most of the time? Your external circumstances aren't happening to you randomly. They're happening because of the energy you're putting out into the world. If you're constantly worried about money, you'll keep creating situations that give you more reasons to worry about money. If you believe that love is hard to find, you'll keep attracting relationships that confirm that belief. If you think you have to work incredibly hard to be successful, you'll keep creating situations where success requires incredible effort. But here's the amazing thing. Once you understand this principle, you have the power to change everything. Instead of being a victim of your circumstances, you become the creator of your reality. Instead of reacting to what's happening around you, you start creating what you want to experience. Most people today are so disconnected from their inner wisdom that they don't even remember what it feels like to trust their intuition or to truly love themselves. We live in a world that constantly tells us we're not enough, not smart enough, not attractive enough, not successful enough, not spiritual enough. We're bombarded with messages that we need to buy something, achieve something, or become someone different in order to be worthy of love and happiness. This constant external noise drowns out the quiet voice inside that knows our true worth, that trusts in the goodness of life, that remembers our connection to something greater than ourselves. We become so focused on what everyone else thinks, what society expects, what we should be doing, that we lose touch with what we actually want and who we really are. But underneath all that conditioning, underneath all those fears and doubts and limiting beliefs, your true self is still there. The part of you that knows you are loved, that knows you are worthy, that knows the universe is conspiring in your favor. That part of you has never left, even if it's been buried under years of programming and pain. Learning to trust the universe and love yourself is really about coming home to who you've always been underneath all the stories you've been told about who you should be. It's about remembering that you don't need to earn love. You are love. You don't need to prove your worth. You are inherently valuable. You don't need to force things to happen. You can allow life to flow through you with ease and grace. The first key is understanding that the universe has perfect timing, not your timing. When you plant a seed, you don't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. You trust the process. Same with manifestation. When you ask for something and then worry it's not coming fast enough, you're basically telling the universe, I don't trust you. Instead, ask for what you want, then relax and trust that it's on its way. The universe sees the bigger picture that you can't see. Think about the last time you were really excited about something you wanted. Maybe it was a new job, a relationship, or moving to a new place. Chances are you wanted it to happen immediately. You probably spent hours thinking about it, planning for it, maybe even counting down the days until you thought it should manifest. But then weeks passed, maybe months, and nothing happened. You started to worry that it wasn't meant to be, that you were doing something wrong, or that the universe wasn't listening to you. But here's what you didn't realize at the time. The universe was actually working behind the scenes in ways you couldn't see. Maybe the job you wanted wasn't available yet because the person who was supposed to leave hadn't found their next opportunity. Maybe the person you were meant to be with was still learning lessons they needed to learn before they could be ready for a healthy relationship with you. Maybe the house you wanted to buy needed to go through a few more owners before the price would drop to something you could afford. The universe operates on divine timing, which means everything happens at exactly the right moment for the highest good of everyone involved. Your human mind can only see a tiny piece of the puzzle, but the universe sees the whole picture. It knows about circumstances you don't know about, people you haven't met yet, opportunities that haven't been created yet. It's coordinating millions of moving pieces to bring you exactly what you need at exactly the right time. When you try to force your timeline onto the universe, you create resistance. It's like trying to push a river to flow faster. You just end up exhausting yourself while the river continues to flow at its natural pace. The universe has its own rhythm, its own seasons, its own perfect orchestration of events. When you trust this rhythm, you move with the flow instead of against it, and everything becomes easier. But when you don't trust divine timing, you start to panic. You think something has gone wrong, that you're being forgotten or ignored. You might start taking desperate actions to try to make things happen faster. You might settle for less than what you really want because you're tired of waiting. You might give up on your dreams entirely because you've decided they're taking too long. This impatience actually pushes away what you want. Think about it. Have you ever had someone rush you to make a decision and it made you want to slow down even more? Or have you ever had someone constantly ask, "Are we there yet?" during a long car ride, and it made the journey feel longer and more annoying? That's what happens when you constantly question the universe's timing. You create an energy of desperation and lack of faith that actually slows down the process. The universe is always communicating with you about timing, but you have to learn how to listen. Sometimes the message is not yet, and sometimes it's now. Learning to tell the difference is one of the most valuable skills you can develop in your manifestation journey. When the universe is saying not yet, you'll notice that doors seem to be closed, opportunities fall through at the last minute, or you keep running into obstacles. This doesn't mean you should give up. It means you should trust that something better is being prepared for you. Use this time to grow, to learn, to become more ready for what's coming. Maybe you need to develop new skills, heal old wounds, or shift your mindset before you're truly prepared for what you've asked for. When the universe is saying now, you'll notice that things start to flow more easily. Opportunities appear out of nowhere. The right people show up at the right time. Resources become available. Doors open that you didn't even know existed. You'll feel inspired to take action, and when you do, things work out better than you expected. This is the universe's way of saying, "I've been preparing this for you, and now it's ready." Trusting divine timing doesn't mean being passive or giving up on your dreams. It means maintaining what I call patient expectancy. Knowing that what you want is definitely coming, but being okay with not knowing exactly when. It's the difference between a child having a tantrum because they want candy right now and an adult who has ordered food at a restaurant and knows it's being prepared even though they can't see it yet. Patient expectancy feels peaceful, not anxious. It feels hopeful, not desperate. When you're in this state, you continue to take inspired actions toward your goals, but you're not attached to immediate results. You plant seeds and water them regularly, but you don't dig them up to check their progress. You trust the natural process of growth and flowering. This doesn't mean you become lazy or stop caring about your goals. It means you stop making yourself miserable with worry and impatience. You stop checking your phone every 5 minutes to see if the job recruiter has called you back. You stop refreshing your dating app to see if your soulmate has messaged you. You stop obsessively checking your bank account to see if money has appeared yet. Different manifestations take different amounts of time, and there are good reasons for this. Sometimes what you want requires other people to make certain choices first. Sometimes it requires you to grow and develop in specific ways. Sometimes it requires circumstances to align in ways that are beyond your control. And sometimes what you think you want isn't actually what's best for you, so the universe is guiding you towards something better. Think about the relationships in your life that have lasted the longest and brought you the most joy. Chances are they developed slowly and naturally over time. You didn't force them to happen. They unfolded organically as you both grew and learned about each other. The same is true for meaningful career success, financial abundance, and personal growth. The best things in life are usually the result of patience, consistency, and trust in the process. Quick fixes and instant gratification might feel good in the moment, but they rarely lead to lasting happiness or fulfillment. When you trust the universe's timing, you allow space for something truly beautiful to be created in your life. You give the universe permission to surprise you with something even better than what you originally asked for. You can't receive love, money, or success if you don't think you deserve it. Self-love isn't selfish. It's the foundation of everything good in your life. Start talking to yourself like you would talk to your best friend. Stop the mean thoughts about yourself. Every morning, look in the mirror and say, "I love you," to yourself. When you truly love yourself, you naturally attract people and situations that love you too. Most people have been taught that self-love is selfish, that putting yourself first is wrong, that you should always think of others before yourself. This programming runs so deep that even thinking about loving yourself might make you feel guilty or uncomfortable. You might worry that if you love yourself too much, you'll become arrogant or that other people won't like you anymore. But this is one of the biggest lies you've ever been told. Self-love isn't about thinking you're better than everyone else or ignoring other people's needs. Real self-love is about recognizing your own worth and treating yourself with the same kindness and respect you would show to someone you care about deeply. It's about understanding that you can't give what you don't have. You can't truly love others if you don't love yourself first. Think about it this way. If you had a friend who constantly criticized themselves, who never thought they were good enough, who always put everyone else's needs before their own until they were exhausted and resentful, would you think that person was being loving toward others? Or would you recognize that their lack of self-love was actually harming their relationships and making them less able to be truly present and supportive? Your relationship with yourself is the template for every other relationship in your life. The way you talk to yourself is the way you'll allow others to talk to you. The way you treat yourself is the standard you set for how others should treat you. The love you give yourself is the foundation for the love you're able to receive from others. If you constantly criticize yourself, you'll attract people who criticize you too. If you don't think you deserve good things, you'll end up with people who don't treat you well. If you always put everyone else's needs before your own, you'll attract people who take advantage of your giving nature without giving anything back. But when you truly love yourself, you naturally attract people who love and respect you. You set boundaries with people who don't treat you well. You speak up for yourself when something doesn't feel right. You make choices that honor your own needs and values, which actually makes you a better friend, partner, parent, and colleague because you're not operating from a place of depletion and resentment. Pay attention to the voice in your head for just one day. Notice how you talk to yourself when you make a mistake, when you look in the mirror, when you don't accomplish something as quickly as you'd like. If you heard someone talking to a child the way you talk to yourself, you'd probably be horrified. Yet you allow this critical voice to run commentary on your life all day long. This inner critic isn't protecting you or helping you improve. It's actually keeping you stuck in patterns of fear and limitation. When you constantly tell yourself you're not good enough, smart enough, attractive enough, or worthy enough, you create a vibration of not enoughness that gets reflected back to you in your circumstances. The good news is that you have the power to change this voice. You can choose to speak to yourself with love, encouragement, and support instead of criticism and judgment. This isn't about lying to yourself or pretending problems don't exist. It's about approaching yourself with the same compassion you would show a good friend who is struggling. Self-love isn't just a nice idea. It's a practice that requires consistent effort and attention. Start small with simple daily practices that help you build a more loving relationship with yourself. Every morning when you wake up, before you check your phone or start thinking about your to-do list, take a moment to appreciate something about yourself. It could be something you accomplished yesterday, a quality you have that you're grateful for, or simply the fact that you're alive and breathing. Throughout the day, notice when the critical voice starts up and gently redirect it towards something more loving. Instead of, "I'm so stupid for making that mistake," try, "Everyone makes mistakes, and I'm learning from this one." Instead of, "I look terrible today," try, "I'm grateful for this body that carries me through life." Instead of, "I'll never be successful," try, "I'm growing and improving every day." Set boundaries with people and situations that drain your energy or make you feel bad about yourself. This doesn't mean being mean or cutting people off completely, but it does mean protecting your mental and emotional well-being. You have the right to say no to things that don't feel good to you. You have the right to spend your time and energy on things that bring you joy and fulfillment. Real self-care isn't just bubble baths and face masks, although those can be nice too. Real self-care is making choices that honor your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. It's eating foods that make you feel good, moving your body in ways that bring you joy, getting enough sleep, spending time in nature, pursuing activities that light you up. It's also about taking care of your mental and emotional health. This might mean going to therapy, reading books that inspire you, spending time with people who make you feel good about yourself, avoiding news and social media when they make you anxious, or creating quiet time for meditation and reflection. Self-care is about recognizing that you are worthy of time, attention, and resources. You don't have to earn the right to take care of yourself by first taking care of everyone else. You don't have to wait until you've accomplished all your goals to start treating yourself well. You deserve love and care right now, exactly as you are. When you truly love yourself, you raise your vibration to match the frequency of love. And since like attracts like, you start attracting more love into your life in all its forms: romantic love, friendship, family connection, and even love in the form of opportunities, abundance, and success. Self-love also makes you more magnetic because people are naturally drawn to those who are comfortable with themselves. When you're not constantly seeking validation from others or trying to prove your worth, you become more attractive and interesting to be around. You have more energy to give because you're not constantly depleting yourself with self-criticism and people-pleasing. Most importantly, when you love yourself, you believe you deserve good things. This belief is absolutely essential for manifestation because the universe can only give you what you believe you're worthy of receiving. If deep down you don't think you deserve love, success, or abundance, you'll unconsciously sabotage opportunities when they come your way. Most people kill their manifestations by trying to control exactly how things should happen. You might want a new job, but you're only looking in one place. You want love, but you're stuck on one specific person. The universe has millions of ways to bring you what you want, but you have to let it surprise you. Be clear about what you want, but stay open about how it comes to you. One of the biggest mistakes people make in manifestation is becoming attached to exactly how their desires should unfold. They get a picture in their mind of how something should happen, and then they refuse to consider any other possibilities. They want a specific job at a specific company, or they want to meet their soulmate in a specific way, or they want money to come from a specific source. When things don't happen exactly as they imagined, they think manifestation isn't working. But this attachment to the how is actually one of the biggest blocks to receiving what you want. Think about it. You're essentially telling the infinite, all-knowing universe that you know better than it does about how to arrange the circumstances of your life. You're limiting infinite possibilities to just the few scenarios you can imagine with your human mind. The universe has access to resources, connections, and opportunities that you don't even know exist. It can orchestrate coincidences and synchronicities that would seem impossible if you tried to plan them yourself. It can bring you exactly what you need through channels you never would have thought to explore, but only if you're open to receiving it in unexpected ways. Your human perspective is naturally limited. You can only see a small slice of reality at any given time. You don't know what opportunities are developing behind the scenes, what people are thinking about offering you, what circumstances are shifting in your favor. You don't know about the job that's going to be created specifically for someone with your skills, or the person who's going to introduce you to your future partner, or the unexpected windfall that's heading your way. When you insist that something has to happen in a specific way, you might actually be choosing a more difficult path than necessary. Maybe you think you have to work 80 hours a week to make the money you want, but the universe has an easier way planned. Maybe you think you have to stay in your current city to find love, but your soulmate is actually waiting for you somewhere else. Maybe you think you have to sacrifice your free time to build your business, but there's a more balanced approach that would work better for you. The universe always chooses the path that's best for everyone involved, not just you. It considers timing, readiness, learning opportunities, and the highest good of all. Sometimes this means things happen differently than you expected, but when you look back, you usually realize that the universe's way was actually much better than your original plan. This doesn't mean you should be vague about what you want. The universe needs clarity about your desires in order to deliver them. But there's a difference between being clear about what you want and being rigid about how it should happen. The key is to be specific about the essence of what you desire while staying flexible about the form it takes. For example, instead of saying, "I want to marry John Smith who lives down the street," you might say, "I want to experience deep, loving, committed partnership with someone who shares my values and makes me laugh." Instead of, "I want to make $100,000 working for XYZ Corporation," you might say, "I want to earn abundant income doing work that fulfills me and uses my talents." Instead of, "I want to buy the house at 123 Main Street," you might say, "I want to live in a beautiful home where I feel peaceful and happy." This approach gives the universe room to work its magic while still providing clear direction about what you're looking for. You're focusing on how you want to feel and what you want to experience rather than getting stuck on specific people, places, or circumstances that might not actually be the best fit for you. Letting go of the how doesn't mean sitting around doing nothing and waiting for things to fall into your lap. It means taking inspired action while staying open to unexpected opportunities and detours along the way. You still apply for jobs, but you don't limit yourself to only one company. You still put yourself out there to meet people, but you don't fixate on one person who might not be available or interested. Pay attention to the opportunities that show up naturally in your life, even if they don't look exactly like what you thought you wanted. Sometimes the universe sends you stepping stones rather than your final destination. That temporary job might lead to meeting someone who introduces you to your dream career. That online class you take for fun might give you skills you didn't know you'd need for your future business. That coffee date with a friend might result in meeting your future spouse. Stay curious about where life is trying to lead you. Instead of forcing doors to open, look for the doors that are already opening. Instead of swimming upstream against the current, notice where the current is naturally carrying you. This doesn't mean being passive or giving up on your goals. It means working with the universe instead of against it. Sometimes what feels like rejection or failure is actually the universe protecting you from something that wouldn't have been right for you anyway. That job you didn't get might have been a toxic work environment. That person who didn't return your interest might have been emotionally unavailable. That business opportunity that fell through might have been a scam. Trust that when something doesn't work out despite your best efforts, it's because something better is on its way. This requires a lot of faith, especially when you're disappointed or frustrated. But if you look back at your life, you'll probably see examples of times when something you thought was terrible at the time actually led to something wonderful later on. The universe isn't punishing you when things don't go according to your plan. It's redirecting you towards something that's more aligned with your highest good. Sometimes this redirection feels uncomfortable because change always involves some uncertainty and letting go of what you thought you wanted. But on the other side of that discomfort is usually something much more beautiful than you could have imagined for yourself. When you finally let go of needing to control exactly how things happen, you'll feel a huge sense of relief and freedom. You'll stop exhausting yourself trying to force outcomes and start enjoying the journey more. You'll become more present and aware because you're not constantly focused on some future scenario that may or may not happen. You'll also become more creative and resourceful because you're not limiting yourself to just one approach. You'll be more willing to try new things, meet new people, and explore new possibilities because you're not attached to a specific outcome. This openness and flexibility actually makes you more attractive to opportunities because you're easier to work with and more fun to be around. Most importantly, you'll start to experience the magic of synchronicity and flow. When you're aligned with the universe instead of fighting against it, life becomes more graceful and effortless. The right people show up at the right time, resources appear when you need them, and opportunities unfold in ways that feel almost miraculous. This is what happens when you stop trying to be the director of your life and start trusting the universe to orchestrate the details. This is the secret that changes everything forever. Instead of waiting to feel happy when you get what you want, feel grateful and happy now. Thank the universe for what's already coming to you. Feel excited about your future. When you feel good now, you tell the universe, yes, bring me more of this feeling. Gratitude is like a magnet that pulls your desires toward you. Most people have their gratitude completely backwards. They think they'll be grateful when they get what they want. They say things like, I'll be so thankful when I finally meet my soulmate, or I'll be grateful when I have enough money, or I'll appreciate life when I'm healthy again. But this approach keeps them stuck in a cycle of waiting and wanting instead of receiving and having. The universe doesn't respond to what you want in the future. It responds to what you're feeling right now. If you're constantly focused on what you don't have, feeling frustrated about what's missing from your life, that's the energy you're sending out. And the universe, like a perfect mirror, sends back more experiences that make you feel frustrated about what's missing. But when you flip this around and start feeling grateful for what you want, as if it's already on its way to you, you completely change your vibration. You shift from the energy of lack and wanting to the energy of abundance and receiving. This shift is so powerful that it literally changes what shows up in your life because you're no longer blocking your good with feelings of desperation and impatience. Gratitude is one of the highest vibrations you can hold. When you're truly grateful, you feel peaceful, joyful, and abundant. You're focused on what's working in your life rather than what's wrong. You're appreciating what you have rather than worrying about what you lack. This positive focus naturally attracts more positive experiences because like energy attracts like energy. Think about the people in your life who are genuinely grateful and appreciative. Aren't they usually the ones who seem to have good things happen to them regularly? They're not necessarily luckier than anyone else. They're just operating from a different frequency. Their gratitude keeps them open and receptive to opportunities, blessings, and abundance. Gratitude also shifts your perception so you start noticing good things that were always there, but that you were overlooking before. When you're grateful, you see beauty where you used to see problems. opportunities where you used to see obstacles, blessings where you used to see burdens. This shift in perception literally changes your reality because what you focus on expands. Advanced gratitude means feeling thankful for what you want before it shows up in your physical reality. This might feel strange at first because you've been taught to only be grateful for things you can see and touch. But remember, everything exists in energy before it exists in form. When you feel grateful for something you've asked for, you're acknowledging that it already exists in the invisible realm and is making its way to you. Start by making a list of everything you want to manifest in your life. Then, instead of focusing on the fact that you don't have these things yet, practice feeling grateful as if they're already yours. Thank the universe for your perfect partner who you haven't met yet. Feel appreciation for the abundance that's flowing into your life. Express gratitude for the perfect health that your body is returning to. This isn't about pretending or lying to yourself. It's about aligning your energy with what you want rather than what you don't want. It's about trusting that what you've asked for is already being arranged for you behind the scenes. When you feel this kind of advanced gratitude regularly, you start to notice signs that your desires are manifesting, synchronicities, opportunities, people, and circumstances that are leading you toward what you want. One of the most powerful practices you can start today is a daily gratitude practice that includes both what you already have and what's coming to you. Every morning when you wake up, before you even get out of bed, think of 3 things you're grateful for that are already in your life. Really feel the appreciation for these things. Don't just think about them intellectually. Then think of 3 things you're grateful for that are on their way to you. Feel the excitement and appreciation as if they're already yours. Imagine how good it will feel when they manifest. Hold that feeling of gratitude and excitement for a few minutes, letting it fill your entire body. Do this same practice every night before you go to sleep. This bookends your day with gratitude and programs your subconscious mind to focus on abundance and blessings rather than problems and lack. Over time, this practice literally rewires your brain to look for good things rather than problems, which changes what you attract into your life. The real test of gratitude comes when things aren't going the way you want them to. It's easy to be grateful when everything is wonderful, but can you find things to appreciate when you're going through difficulties? This is where gratitude becomes a superpower rather than just a nice feeling. When you're facing challenges, look for the hidden blessings and lessons. Maybe that job loss is forcing you to pursue something you're more passionate about. Maybe that relationship ending is making space for someone better to come into your life. Maybe that health issue is teaching you to take better care of yourself. Maybe that financial setback is showing you new ways to create income. This doesn't mean pretending that difficult things aren't difficult or that pain doesn't hurt. It means trusting that even challenges can serve your highest good if you let them. When you can find gratitude in the midst of difficulty, you transform the experience from something that's happening to you into something that's happening for you. When you live in a state of gratitude, it affects everyone around you. People are naturally drawn to grateful people because they feel good to be around. Your positive energy lifts others up and creates a ripple effect of good feelings. You become someone who brings light to every situation rather than someone who drains energy from others. Grateful people also tend to be more generous, kind, and supportive because they're operating from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. When you feel like you have enough, you're more willing to share with others. When you appreciate what you have, you take better care of it. When you're grateful for the people in your life, you treat them better. This positive energy comes back to you multiplied. The universe loves a grateful heart and responds by giving you more reasons to be grateful. People want to help you and support you because you make them feel good. Opportunities come your way because you're someone people enjoy working with. Abundance flows to you because you're already appreciating what you have. Guys, this is real. This is something I applied and it really worked. At the beginning, I thought trusting the universe was just wishful thinking. But when I saw the results, it was amazing. Things I wanted started coming to me in ways I never expected. Just like a flower that blooms when it trusts the sun and rain. We can bloom in life by trusting the universe and loving ourselves. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't always a believer in this stuff. For years, I tried to control every aspect of my life. I made detailed plans, worked incredibly hard, and pushed myself to exhaustion trying to force things to happen. And while I achieved some success, it always felt like such a struggle. I was constantly stressed, worried, and exhausted. Even when good things happened, I couldn't really enjoy them because I was already worrying about the next challenge. I was skeptical when I first heard about trusting the universe and practicing self-love. It sounded too simple, too good to be true. I thought it was just positive thinking nonsense for people who didn't want to face reality. But I was so tired of struggling that I decided to give it a try, even though I didn't really believe it would work. The first thing I started with was changing how I talked to myself. Instead of constantly criticizing myself for not being further along in life, I started treating myself like I would treat a good friend. When I made mistakes, instead of calling myself stupid, I said, "Everyone makes mistakes, and I'm learning from this." When I looked in the mirror, instead of focusing on what I didn't like, I found at least one thing to appreciate about my appearance. At first, nothing dramatic happened. But I started to notice small shifts in how I felt throughout the day. I had a little more energy, a little more hope, a little more peace. I wasn't constantly fighting with myself in my head anymore. This created space for new ideas and opportunities that I hadn't noticed before because I was too caught up in my own self-criticism. Then I started practicing gratitude for things that hadn't happened yet. This felt really weird at first, but I committed to doing it every morning. I would thank the universe for the perfect opportunities that were coming my way, for the abundance that was flowing into my life, for the amazing people I was about to meet. I tried to really feel the gratitude, not just think about it. Within a few weeks, I started noticing synchronicities and coincidences that seemed too perfect to be random. I would think about someone and then run into them the next day. I would need something and then hear about exactly what I needed from a friend or see it advertised somewhere. Opportunities started appearing that I never could have planned or predicted. The real turning point came about 3 months into practicing these principles. I had been wanting to change careers but felt stuck because I didn't have the right connections or experience. Instead of forcing it or getting frustrated, I decided to trust that the universe would show me the right path at the right time. One day, I was at a coffee shop working on a project when the person at the table next to me struck up a conversation. It turned out they worked in exactly the field I wanted to get into, and they mentioned that their company was about to create a new position that would be perfect for someone with my background. They invited me to apply, and within a month, I had my dream job. This wasn't something I could have made happen through networking or traditional job searching. The timing, the location, even the fact that we ended up sitting next to each other, it all felt perfectly orchestrated by some invisible force that was working in my favor. That's when I became a true believer in the power of trust and surrender. Once I saw proof that this approach actually worked, I decided to fully commit to it. I stopped trying to control outcomes and started focusing on maintaining a positive vibration through gratitude, self-love, and trust. I made decisions based on what felt good rather than what I thought I should do. I followed my intuition even when it didn't make logical sense. The results were beyond anything I could have imagined. Opportunities started flowing to me effortlessly. I met incredible people who became both friends and mentors. Money started coming from unexpected sources. My relationships improved dramatically because I was happier and more confident. My health got better because I was less stressed and taking better care of myself. But the most amazing change was how I felt on a daily basis. Instead of waking up anxious about all the things I needed to do and control, I woke up excited to see what beautiful surprises the universe had in store for me. Instead of going to bed worried about the future, I went to sleep grateful for all the blessings in my life and trusting that even more good things were on their way. I'm telling you this not to brag about my life, but to show you that this approach really works for ordinary people dealing with ordinary challenges. I'm not special or more deserving than anyone else. I don't have any secret knowledge or magical powers. I simply learned to work with the universe instead of against it, and my life transformed in ways I never thought possible. The most beautiful part is that the universe doesn't play favorites. It wants to give everyone an abundant, joyful, fulfilling life. The only thing that blocks this natural flow of good things is our own resistance, our doubt, our fear, our need to control, our belief that we're not worthy of good things. When you let go of that resistance and start trusting the process, you open yourself up to receive all the blessings that have always been available to you. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being a conscious co-creator of your reality. You realize that you have so much more power than you ever imagined, not to force things to happen, but to allow them to unfold naturally and beautifully. As we learn to trust the universe and love ourselves, we discover a power we always had but forgot about. What we see in our lives is just a reflection of how much we trust and love. The secret is not to fight reality, but to change our inner world with trust and self-love. The universe is always conspiring to help you, and you are always worthy of everything you desire. Transformation doesn't happen overnight, and that's actually a good thing. If everything changed all at once, it would be overwhelming and difficult to maintain. Instead, lasting change happens gradually, one small shift at a time. Each day that you choose trust over fear, love over criticism, gratitude over complaint, you're building a new foundation for your life. Start wherever you are right now with whatever you have. You don't need to wait until you feel completely confident or until your life is perfect. You don't need to understand everything or have all the answers. You just need to be willing to try a different approach and to be patient with yourself as you learn and grow. Remember that this is a practice, not a perfection. There will be days when you forget to trust, when you slip back into old patterns of worry and control. There will be times when self-love feels impossible and criticism feels more familiar. This is normal and expected. What matters is that you keep coming back to these principles, that you keep choosing love and trust over fear and doubt. As you begin to embody these principles more and more, you'll notice that your transformation affects not just you, but everyone around you. When you stop trying to control other people and situations, you give them permission to be themselves. When you love yourself more fully, you become more capable of loving others. When you trust that the universe is supporting you, you become a source of encouragement and inspiration for others. Your children, if you have them, will learn from your example that they are worthy of love and that life can be trusted. Your friends will be uplifted by your positive energy and may be inspired to make their own changes. Your colleagues will enjoy working with someone who is peaceful and confident rather than stressed and controlling. Even strangers will be affected by the loving energy you carry into the world. This is how the world changes, one person at a time, one choice at a time, one moment of choosing love over fear at a time. By transforming yourself, you become part of the solution to the pain and struggle that so many people are experiencing. You become living proof that another way is possible. When you truly embrace trust and self-love as a way of life, you step into a reality where anything is possible. You're no longer limited by your past mistakes, your current circumstances, or your fears about the future. You're free to dream bigger, love deeper, and experience more joy than you ever thought possible. The universe has infinite creativity and infinite resources. There are opportunities, connections, and experiences waiting for you that you can't even imagine right now. There are versions of yourself that you haven't met yet, more confident, more loving, more abundant, more peaceful versions. There are levels of happiness and fulfillment that you haven't experienced yet because you weren't vibrationally ready for them. As you continue to practice these principles, you'll find yourself naturally attracting circumstances and people that match your new level of self-love and trust. You'll be amazed at how life can flow when you stop swimming against the current. You'll discover gifts and talents you didn't know you had. You'll find yourself in situations that feel magical and synchronistic. This moment right now is your invitation to step into a completely new relationship with yourself and with life. You don't have to stay stuck in old patterns of struggle and limitation. You don't have to keep accepting less than you deserve. You don't have to keep fighting for everything you want. The universe is extending its hand to you, offering to be your partner in creating a life that exceeds your wildest dreams. All you have to do is take that hand by choosing to trust, choosing to love yourself, choosing to believe that you are worthy of all the good things life has to offer. Your new life is waiting for you on the other side of trust and self-love. Every step you take in this direction is a step toward more freedom, more joy, more abundance, and more fulfillment than you've ever experienced before. The universe is ready to support you in ways you can't even imagine. The only question is, are you ready to let it? I hope this message lights up your path and helps you create the life of your dreams. If this video helped you, please like and subscribe to our channel. Share this video with others who need this message, and leave a comment below sharing your thoughts and experiences. Thank you for watching and for joining me on this journey. Take care and see you soon. Right now, in this very moment, you have a choice to make. You can close this video and go back to your old way of thinking and being, or you can decide that today is the day your life begins to change. You can keep struggling and forcing and trying to control everything, or you can take the first step toward a life of ease, flow, and abundance. This choice doesn't require you to have perfect faith or complete understanding. It just requires you to be willing to try something different. It requires you to be open to the possibility that there might be an easier, more joyful way to live. It requires you to consider that maybe, just maybe, you are more loved and supported than you've ever realized. If you're ready to make this choice, start with one small step today. Look in the mirror and say, "I love you" to yourself. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Take one action that feels good rather than forced. Trust one small thing to work out instead of trying to control it. These small steps will begin to shift your energy and show you proof that this approach really works. Remember that you're not alone on this journey. There are countless others who are also learning to trust the universe and love themselves more fully. We're all in this together, supporting each other and cheering each other on. When you share your experiences, insights, and breakthroughs in the comments below, you inspire others who might be struggling with similar challenges. Your story matters. Your journey matters. The changes you make in your own life create ripples that extend far beyond what you can see. By choosing to transform yourself, you become part of a global awakening that's happening right now. You become a beacon of light for others who are still finding their way. Don't underestimate the power of your transformation. You have no idea who might be watching your life, inspired by your courage to change, motivated by your willingness to trust and love. You might be the example that someone else needs to see to believe that their own transformation is possible. The universe has been waiting your entire life for you to remember who you really are and to claim the abundant, joyful life that is your birthright. It has been patiently sending you signs, opportunities, and people to guide you toward this remembering. It has been whispering to you through your intuition, your dreams, and your deepest desires. Now you have the tools and the understanding to hear that whisper and to respond to it. You know that you don't have to earn love, you are love. You know that you don't have to force things to happen. You can allow them to unfold. You know that you don't have to figure everything out. You can trust the wisdom that's greater than your human mind. The life you've been dreaming of isn't just possible, it's inevitable when you align yourself with the principles of trust and self-love. The universe is ready to co-create miracles with you. Your soul is ready to express its full magnificence. Your heart is ready to experience more love and joy than it has ever known. The only question now is, are you ready to step into this new reality? Are you ready to let the universe love you the way you've always deserved to be loved? Are you ready to trust that your dreams aren't just fantasies, but previews of what's possible for your life? If your answer is yes, then your transformation begins now. Welcome to your new life. Welcome to the magic of living in trust and love. The universe has been waiting for you, and now it's time to let the miracles begin.